Oh, welcome back. Decided to turn the old webcam on again to see if it would affect anything. So hello, for people who haven't watched any of my Wizard 101 or Oblivion stuff, this is my wonderful face. And welcome to another Advance Wars by Web replay. Notice the title of this one is not a Analyzing Defeat. And that's because this game was quite an interesting one for me. This is another live game it was. One I finished up just recently, actually. And the reason I wanted to record this one is I think it's a good example of something I've gotten a lot better with, which I will get into it when we get in there. But I kind of wanted to show off a little bit here. So this, like I said, it was a live game. I am up here playing the boy Andy. Now Andy is a typical tier 3 pick in Standard. I've been doing a lot of Standard play recently. I am normally a FOD player. It's actually, I think, possibly the first game of Standard I've recorded. I did my recording sessions myself. But, like I said, I don't usually play Standard. I'm normally a FOD player. The reason I'm playing a lot of Standard, trying to branch out a little bit, expand my skill set. Maybe I'll try High Funds again one day if I feel like suffering. But yeah, this is the map, The New Empire. And I picked Andy just because, like I said, he's just kind of my go-to CO for Standard Tier 3. There's rarely a map where he's bad at. There are quite a bit of like forested cities with flashlights, but I didn't think that was a good enough justification to not pick the GOAT. So I went to like where I'm gonna be fighting, and I'm like, the terrain around like a lot of the contestants isn't really great for Lash, and there's a lot of bases and enough income that I can tech up. So I picked Andy. Andy's gotta keep himself alive. No day-to-day, but you don't need it. Andy has his secret day-to-day where you have to kill his stuff. And I'm fighting Jake. Now, my opponent, Hystro here, he just does this sometimes. I've looked over his matches. He just sometimes underpicks. I saw him, like, beat Lash as Adder the other day. This guy has, like, over 3 times the amount of games I do. This man plays a lot of Advance Wars. And I remember in the Battlegrounds stream, this was a pretty big upset as a result. But despite the underpick, I wasn't underestimating it. Like I said, this guy has had quite a bit of Advance Wars games, and I went to it a little bit concerned, but I suppose I should get rid of the preamble and just show how things went wrong and how things eventually went right. Down here in the Jade Sun, as always, myself and Orange Star up north. So immediately right away, this is pretty standard going for the base, but over here, I decided to go for this first. I've gotten a little bit more feisty with my caps as of late. I've been doing this a lot. I think this is some of my FOD mentality kind of bleeding into Standard. In FOD, you can kind of get away with like property skipping and stuff. Standard, it's a little more dicey because you can potentially screw over your tank order. So my mindset was, this is very contested. I want to get this early. I want to get this before there's any inkling of a way to interrupt it. Like, I could go for this down here, but I can get that later. So, already, some chicanery going on. Yeah, didn't go for any of the other options. My opponent, though, actually mirrors this. He mirrors me right here. And I'm going to respond to this in a way that I don't normally do. Like I said, I've been playing a lot more feisty, as we'll soon find out. So I go for the base, go for the day 1 cap, get my contested property. I go over here. Again, still ignoring this back cap. I want to get in the middle. I want to get contested. I'm being very greedy. Perhaps a little too greedy. And then I build a day 3 recon. Now, I almost never build recons in Standard because unless you know what you're doing with them, they often suck. So you kind of have to have a plan in mind. But my mindset was, okay, he's going to go capture this, what I'm doing. I can go right here and get a free shot off on him before he have a tank in the room. Because bro's only have 5 tanks turn. I'll get a free hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a pretty good idea. And maybe I can front shift it to the middle and do some more chicanery with it there. So that was the idea behind it. But we'll see if I can actually do it well. It's kind of a big cojones move to build yourself a fodless recon. And yep. So far my plan is working pretty well here. Getting my caps, getting my base. And now I finally get the back cap one. Okay. Fine, I guess I'll get the back property now. Bro's got 8k. If it were me here in res position, I would consider base skipping a tank. Because I have enough infantry here, I would just go forward inf tank. And this is another reason why I built this recon. Because I knew he'd have to base skip to get a tank. And sure enough, he does exactly what I would have done here. I've gotten more accepting of base skips as of late. It's kind of like an art with base skipping. Where it's like, you start off the game like you're a 700 and you think they're really great, and then everyone tells you you're bad, and then you stop doing that, and they're like, no, never base skip. And then kind of you learn, like, okay, maybe it's okay to base skip if you know what you're doing. This is an example of a time where I think I think if this was like an artillery, it'd be really wimpy. So I'm glad that he did this. I think this was the correct move. Unfortunate for me, though, because now I don't have a tank of my own, but that's okay. I still get my free hit. That was my whole agenda here. Going forward. And I go for this property because it's wide open. He could technically interrupt his own cap to give it to me. However, I'm not sure if I would do it, because here's the thing. I am taking this knowing full well I ain't own that property. I'm going to enjoy it for the little while that I have it. And then it's going to be gone forever. And if he interrupts me, then he's taking a shot from a road. It's not great. He doesn't have his tower yet. It don't feel very good. So he goes over there. He goes there. And now what do? I cap the property, first and foremost. He builds a recon over here. I don't... Like, I know why I did, okay? But I had a game plan. Like, yes, I do have only infantry over here. I don't know. I don't remember how good this recon was. But I take another shot. Now, why do I take this shot? Simple. 2 reasons. 1, it's his only infantry in the area. Bro is going to be slow to cap anything else because of this. Yes, the recon's dying. However, I have stopped this cap. And now this infantry is basically dead. And now, this tank also can't interrupt my capture here if he wants to kill the recon, which he probably does. So I'm like, I'm okay with letting this die. Me a year ago would have never done this play. I mean, like, no, I invested in the recon. I gotta keep it. No. It's okay to let stuff die sometimes. Dying is part of life. It's natural, baby. And I build my tank, obviously. And as a result of building this recon, bro can't get a tank. So I already... this recon needs to earn its stripes. Because here's the thing about Andy that I really like. Unlike every other CO, Andy can kind of take first strikes in the bad terrain against a lone tank. Like, yeah, it's not a great trade, but Andy's going to heal it up anyway. So as Andy, I actually found myself being way more aggressive than I would be with a lot of other COs. Just because I know that I can get away with a lot more. So yeah, they're moving in there. I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not fighting for this property. So he runs away. He kills my freaky Riti. But the Riti did its job. Capture that. Tank goes in. Imp goes in there. This tank is really well positioned in my opinion because it is able to defend the port. It's able to defend all my captures. Pretty good. I actually kind of like this. I think I did a good job there. It's okay to say I did something decent every once in a while. And I back up. Like I said, I fully intended to concede that property. I am not sad that it's gone. I built myself a weak side tank. Kind of have to. Gotta invalidate the recon Samoa, and I backed up in such a way that this tank perfectly covers all these infantry. So he goes, takes the property. Yes, sir, that is perfectly fine, and he actually gets an interrupt there. Yeah, I don't know why I capped here. That's a blunder. I'll own up to that. That's a pretty big blunder, you know. I, for some reason, was under the impression he would let me have this. I don't know why I had that idea. Yeah, that's just kind of that's a very contested property. Ain't no shot. And he smartly front shifts middle. I like this a lot, actually. Captures over there. I move up there, try to get some of those nice little corner properties. Finally getting range to get my comm tower. A little late. But I've stopped valuing comm towers nearly as much as I used to. I used to value them quite highly. I capture that. Yeah, my plan here. This recon, can't do shit. Come down here and smack that. Tank gonna bash it. Come attack here, tank gonna bash it. Now you could go and bash it and then cover with the tank. That would not be a bad move. So you would say you go here, you attack from the forest. Well, I either have to get off the city. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attack from the city, thus preventing the cap. Or attack from here, you front shift this tank, you're gonna get kerpowed. So, I think there's a lot of options this recon can do. Well, we're just moving out right now. Tank rolls in, but he comes back. I think he was feeling the pressure a little bit. But honestly, I don't know. Because here's the thing, you did this and now this doesn't back this up. I mean, it does. I guess he's doing the same thing I said he did. It's fine. This recon, it does money's worth. I take back everything I said about that recon. But, I'm feeling feisty. Boom. See what I said earlier? That's a 7-6 trade. I would never do that if I wasn't Andy. Andy? I have 3 tanks to 2? I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. Smack that boy. And it's trapped. Trapped with a raid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't reach. Trapped with a raid. Great. I know for a fact that these two do not free this boy. Now, what I think you could do is go tank hit here, imp hit here to free it. But I don't know. That's kind of wimpy. Kind of a wimpy move. I do, however, make a few blunders. I don't interrupt this. This is a free hit. This is a free guy. That bro's hanging. So I go there. Do that. I actually sacrificed the 5 HP infantry. I don't, that didn't guarantee the cap. I have no idea why the hell I did that. I should have ran that boy away. Should have kept that boy alive. I just threw away an infantry for no reason. I have some good moves, and then I have some bonehead moves. Another thing, I don't have an anti-air. I saw the copter, didn't build an anti-air. Why didn't I build an anti-air? Because the airport on this map is really slow. It takes 2 turns just for it to get towards the fray. So I knew I had another turn before I had to really build an anti-air. Go there, Kerpowda. And he gets his free hit. He just says, fine, that tank can die. I think it's this turn that the game shifted, though. He attacks back, doesn't kill. And then the medium tank. So the Shikabane a year ago would have absolutely wanted a full retreat from this thing. But I am not the Shikabane from a year ago. I have learned, I have gotten wise about how to deal with medium tanks, especially on low income. Medium tanks, they're not that scary. I actually don't like medium tanks. I barely make them anymore, especially in Fog. In Fog, they're terrible. I would never make medium tanks in Fog. The only time I think I would consider it is if, like, I'm maxed and I need to bring out a pipe seam or something. But most of the time, no, I don't like the medium tanks. I like my Neo tanks. However, notice where this copter can and can't go. That, everything the green does not touch is our kingdom. Get my bad caps. And I interrupt this. Why? Well, look where he has to go. He has to go on my city to smack me. He doesn't want to go on my city to smack me. He wants the property. And even if he does smack me, I'm just going to retreat to here. So I am okie dokie. Honestly, I probably should have just kept this here. Or I'd maybe put it here. It's not really a great place for it. It's kind of Boomba. Boomba. Tank comes in. Cover the tanky poo. And build my anti-air. Base skip tank. Why do I base skip tank? Because in case he does decide to take that shot, I can punish it with another tanky poo. Retreat that tank. That's an anti-tank that will heal. And they'll be able to smack it. Because here's the thing about medium tanks. Medium tanks are expensive. Building a medium tank means those are two tanks you no longer have. And two tanks you no longer have means if I just slam my little foot on the gas and just rush you with tanks, I can overwhelm. That was the thought process anyway. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Retreats to Freaky Reeky, retreats there, caps that. Goes there. Medium tank slowly rolls in, kills my infantry, it's fine. Goes on the city. Now, notably, the medium tank does not cover. The copter does, though. So what do I do about that? Well, first thing I do is I go over here. I start schmacking and a bapping. Front shift, smack that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go all in the middle. So I full retreat over here. I'm like, okay, I want the middle. You can do whatever the blip you want up there. I will know. And I banked up some mud-muds. I don't spend all my money. I saved some of that. I am really behind in income. I don't have this property. I don't have this property. Didn't do the best capture game. I don't have this property. Yeesh. This guy's roasting me in terms of finances. This man should be an accountant. It's a free hit on my tanky. This was a bit of a blunder, I will fully admit. But there's just no punish here. Here comes old Saint Medium Tank. Here it comes. Boasty. Boasty. Cover. Retreat. Anti-air. Tanky. And then cap that. Cap that. Build a medium tank of my own. This medium tank fully covers this tank. So if the medium tank wants to come kerplow to me, he's going to get blasted. Bad move. Copter is also threatening. This copter got an anti-air covering almost all of this. However, there is still a free hit here if he chooses to take it. Not perfect positioning. Actually, I pull really far back here. Arguably didn't need to pull that far back. But he comes over here. And I was thrilled about this, actually. I was like, oh, thank God. He's over here where nothing's happening. That 16k is over here fighting infantry. Beautiful. That's what I want the medium tank to be doing. So I'm like, okay, that's actually beautiful. Yeah, just the lack of vehicles because of that medium. Because of that 16k that's over here doing nothing. Being annoying. So how do I make sure that medium tank don't come back? He actually doesn't hit the free hit, surprisingly. Boom. Boom. Capture. Is that a black booty? Now bro has to go all the way around to get back. What a bozo. Not going that way, medium tank. No, sir. Wall break the artillery. Boosty, boosty. I'm going all in. I'm all in on the middle, baby. I want this middle. Medium tank is trapped. It's trapped over there. It's over there in no man's land. No man's land. There ain't nothing over there for medium tank. He's over there fighting infantry. Medium tanks are very valuable. You don't want to waste them fighting infantry in the middle of Timbuktu. You want them to be fighting tanks. Anti-airs. You want to be wall breaking. You don't want them in the corner. And I'm being really feisty. Why? Powers are coming. Notice though, I'm down 5k Inky. I'm down a lot of income. It's his block rock. Honestly, I don't know how I feel with this block rock. We have exactly 2 vehicles that take advantage of it. This feels like kind of a wimpy block rock. I think to my opponent, I would have saved this. Boomba. 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 I remember I was very sad to see this copter die. I was extremely devastated. But my plan is coming the other ways and going. Now you're thinking, Sheik Kabane, you're down so much! Down so many units! So much unit value, so much money! You're getting destroyed! Back to 9k. How much was that? 79? About 11,000 in repairs. That's not bad. Booshki. Kill that. Free medium tank. Bomba. Bomba. That's a dead copter. Boosh. And then he has his power up right now, so he's not getting any charge. All of this is for free, baby. Babushki. Babushki. Shabushki. 1 HP tank. 1 HP artillery. That's dead. Boomba, boomba, boom, boom, boom. And what's the medium tank doing? It's over here in the corner like a bozo. Bro, doubled down. He built the second medium tank. Well, my one's over here fighting infantry. I guess I need another one then. Oh, man. And a medium tank. I built my artillery. I went, okay. Why am I saving so much money? It's because I'm behind on money. I'm like, I can't go balls to the wall. I need to be able to save money to respond to Titans. This turn, I was horrified. I'm like, he's going to build a Neo tank. I'm like, there's going to be another medium tank. There's going to be a Neo tank on the board. I am cooked. But, look at how, like, few things there are in the middle. There's one tank here. And, like, 2 Ritis. What the Ritis doing? They go for the cap. Artillery's watching that. That's never happening. Down 7,000 income. By the way, ended my turn ahead. Not worried about the income. Not panicking. Just to not panic. Oh boy, here it comes. Here comes the Neo. I'm sure it's coming. A third medium tank. This slow, bumbly boy. A third one. Jokes aside, though, I don't have a lot of answers to medium tanks. I have like the artillery over here and this one. I've got like one copter back here. What am I gonna do? The trick here is leverage. Artillery shot. Another artillery. That is a strong wall. You're not breaking that very easily. And of course, we got artillery. We got anti-air here because you chose. Well, yeah, you can come and smack my artillery, but I'm going to take your copter. That's a fair trade for me. That's a winning trade. Guaranteed flip. Bro cannot interrupt that. Interrupt that. Boomba. These recons die. I join, make another one. Boom, 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 boom. Leverage the fact that I have the middle dominance before the medium tanks get to the right. The medium tanks, again, the problem with medium tanks is that they're slow. They take forever to waddle over there. There's 3 of them. Where are they? Over here, back at the base, in the corner. Imagine these medium tanks were in the center. Be crushing. But because they're medium tanks and not like any Neos, they're just not doing that. They're finally out of the corner with the medium tank. It only took him 3 years. He served his prison sentence in the corner. He's finally free of the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the medium tank is free from the corner. And then he builds a black boat. Okay. I built a black boat to inconvenience medium tank. What the heck is this doing here? I get it. You got a 7K income weight. That's pretty sweet. Why are we building a black boat? I don't get it. I don't get that one. I don't get this one. But now things are getting real. The time where I could leverage the fact that I had the middle is now over. These medium tanks are coming. They're encompassing. The medium tank boom is here. I'm still down so much goddamn money. I ain't got nothing left. Poor. So what do? Well, I get my flip. That helps a little bit. That's a 2K flip. Now I'm only down 5,000. A lot worse. A lot less. Get a free kill there. Just kind of a free infantry. What am I doing? Boom. 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 Why am I attacking these tanks? There's a medium tank. There sure is. But the medium tank can only attack one tank, ladies and gentlemen. I would really like this middle property here. My mindset is, I want to weaken all this stuff so he can't come over here, be distracted here, take this property. Yeah, my biggest thing right now is, I need money. I need out of the poorhouse. I build a medium tank out. I go over there. Now, why did I move this infantry here? That's a free hit. Why would I do that? Where do I want this medium tank? This is a sacrificial lamb. And he takes the bait. That's a juicy infantry. Yeah, you stay over there. You stay over there, Mr. Medium Tank. That's right. Again, the medium tank being over in no man's land means it's not in the middle fighting where it needs to fight. That's a juicy free guy. Stay over in the corner. Exploit the medium tank mobility. Exploit the fact that they're slow lumbering units. You keep them trapped where there's nothing to fight. Medium tank comes in, he gets his triple out. I take some smacks, knocks me down to 2. You hate to see it, but unfortunately there's just no way I can get that cap. If only there was a way. Opponent's coming back, he's still ahead. Didn't even get the city I wanted. If only there was a way. Hyper repair. CO power. Not the hyper repair. Oh. Down 3K. Black boat. Cap. Defend. Run away. Build myself the greatest unit, the Neo Tank. I love my Neo Tanks. And now, I'm feeling pretty good. That's a hard thing to interrupt right there. If only this medium tank could have done something about it. If only it wasn't in the corner! Goes for the cap. Doesn't? I really dislike this move. Kill the flippin' anti-air. You're on a... okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that's a silly move. I just remembered where we're at. Never mind. That's a better move. Never mind. Don't ignore me. That was stupid. That's a dumb thing I just said. Kills my tank. Mech on the mountain. But a Neo tank never came, ladies and gentlemen. And now, this turn, I stared at the screen a long time. I have exactly 2 goals. I want this anti-air to kill this copter. That's goal 1. Goal 2. I want to kill this medium tank with these 2. Goal 3. I lied, there's 3. Interrupt this cap. I need to do all 3 of those things with the units I have. Get my property. Only down 1,000. From a 7,000 disparity down to 1K. 1K! Tank rolls in. Boom! Get my kill. Tap with the anti-air. Infantry comes in. Mop the Schwab. Boomba. Boomba. Killed. Neo Tank. And now. Honestly, this is a pretty bad ball. He pops the block rock. No! My artillery! Stop to kill. But can't interrupt, baby. Kills a medium tank. Boomba. Fun fact, that is not a roll. That is impossible. This is guaranteed to not kill that. I think what he wanted to do was go here and kill. Goes tap. Doesn't get the kill there either. Slams in with the medium tank, killing my infantry. Sea-Topter goes on the city for some reason. And he resigns. He resigns. It's all over. He played a mean game, I will admit. Hystro, you played a mean one, brother. Them fucking 3,000 games this guy has, it shows. I didn't like the medium tanks. I think like if there had been a golf ball somewhere in the situation, I think it would have been better. But I wanted to talk about this game for one really simple reason. It shows something that I personally have done a lot better with, that I'm a little proud of myself for. And that is not resigning here. Not resigning down 7,000. I remember there was quite a long time in Advance Wars where I'm down like 4 or 5k. It's over. The thing about income, right? Income is a powerful thing. More money is good. But it'd be difficult to leverage that. I knew how far down in money I was. And I knew that if I was going to win and get that back, I had to leverage something from my opponent. And that was this medium tank. This medium tank this black boat buy to trap the medium tank in a never-ending battle over here, away from the front, was the way I did it. The moment this medium tank game over here, it's fate was sealed. He was never leaving through this port again. It's trapped on this little peninsula. A big thing I've been working on with Advance Wars is mental. Mental. That's my tilt and my ability to stay calm under pressure. This is probably something that was my biggest weakness before when I used to play this game. Oh, Shikabane, well, you're always early resigning. You never can tell when you're behind. You aren't even trying. No more of that. No more. Stayed in it. Got the money back. I remained calm. I did not overreact. And I chose to fight on. And that is why I chose to show this video. To show this match in particular. For myself. For my own thing. Because again, the whole reason I'm making these videos is to show my progress. To show improvement. I have a long way to go as an Advance Wars player still. I've accepted that. But I think it's okay to admit that I am improving a little bit. Things that would make me resign a year ago, Not anymore. The days of Shitabane early resigning every other Global League match are over. Every other Live League match are over. That's not to say I'll never early resign. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'm going to make some mistakes. But knowing how to remain calm, how to evaluate the situation, and how to address the situation, not overreact. Again, medium tank from the one base. I remember old me, I would have went, oh, I need artillery right now. I need immediately to counter this vehicle. You don't always have to have the counter. I didn't build a counter for this medium tank till like way later. I just leveraged the fact that it was eating free dudes and went over in the corner. And then this one went down in the corner, and this one I just kept running away. The lesson today, kids: medium tanks suck. Build Neo tanks. They're better in every way. Love your golf ball. Don't early resign. Be better. Anyone can improve. And I hope one day to prove those statements. So thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video.